Hi, this is Neil Lambert, and this is called My Longshot Life. It's a long one. How did I get here? Funny you should ask. It's an incredible tale, but alas, it's extremely unlikely, this story of mine, a story that takes place over eons of time. But the fact that I'm here is the happiest of happenstance, a little bit of luck and a whole lot of chance. One in a gazillion, maybe more. But goddamn, despite the long odds, here I am. Here I am, the last link in a chain of serendipity. Each event tipped toward me, and everything that was had to be. And anything changed in the least, then a chain reaction would be unleashed. One tiny change in the fabric of time, and the future would change as the chain unwinds, altering the future to edit out me. And then someone would be here, another one would be, just not me. A recent example is how my mom and dad met, each traveling alone on a cross-country trip. He from the east and she from the west. Both stopped at a diner for food and some rest. He sat at the counter and she sat by his side, and in no time at all they were husband and wife. But had either missed lunch at the diner that day, a late breakfast perhaps, or a traffic delay. A flat tire would do it, or an upset stomach, or a bad hangover could make an appetite plummet. An unlucky string of red traffic lights, or an unplanned stop for some sugary delights. Whatever the reason for skipping that diner would be disastrous for me, and though I'm no whiner, if my mom and my dad would never have met, there'd be no me now. No more me, I regret. But marry they did. Then they did the darn deed. Mom shared an egg and dad shared some seed. Millions of spermies, all loaded with code. Mine won the race, with me as the payload. But had another sperm been faster or took a more direct route, pulled away from the pack or boxed my guy out, had some fancy new tool or found a quicker way to tunnel on through that pesky membrane, if another had just been luckier or found a shortcut maybe, then he'd be telling this tale and not me. My great-grandfather, a good man they'd say, a teacher by day, but at night he would stray. One drunken night he raped a young woman, an act so brutal, so sick and inhuman. But a baby was born, my granddad, oh my. He denied the rape happened and turned a blind eye. And I, of course, I understand why. He owed his life to that rape, as do I. Now, I hate to cheer for a rapist, don't you know? But this sentiment is for me the safest, because without that rape, a new reality takes shape, and someone else would be here in my place. Now let's travel back some 20 generations to the 1600s and a deadly situation. My ancestor Tom, well, he got around, spreading his seed all over town, till he bed the young wife of his neighbor John, who left work early and happened upon the two of them in a lover's embrace, if you know what I mean. Needless to say, John was quite enraged, so he put a bullet in poor Tom's face. Soon Tom expired, but before he died, he left a deposit in John's pretty wife. That investment yielded a substantial return when Tom's son grew up and it was his turn to pass our family's code on down the line. But had John returned early by a minute or two, rode a little faster, if he only knew, if he left a little sooner, took the shortcut on the right, or skipped that potty break and pitched it off tight. If he hadn't stopped for water while on his way home, he'd have stopped Tom's deposit of his Y chromosome, and without Tom's come, I would simply become non-existent. A little further back, around 250 BC, lived my ancestor Mark, a boy of 13. Mark was out late on a hunting patrol when he tripped and fell hard down a massive sinkhole. When the searching went cold, he was stuck in that hole for years. He lived on lizards and bugs, an occasional rat, and he drank water that pooled in the bottom of the vat. Now, as luck would have it, for Mark and for me, some beavers got busy at a nearby creek, where their dam made a lake that quickly rose and filled up the sinkhole where Mark was supposed to die. But he floated to the top and went back to his home, where he had 3 sons who passed our genome on. But had those beavers chosen a different creek or been killed by hunters for beaver meat, if they'd all gotten lazy or gone on vacation to Beaver Dam or Grand Beaver Station, Had they all gotten sick at the very same time with the deadly flu of the brown beaver kind? Or maybe they went on a group hunger strike for tastier trees and more beaver rights. If for whatever reason they failed to build it, a dam high enough to flood it and fill it, if that sinkhole stayed dry, Mark would surely have died, and yours truly would never have been alive, ever. Now, these are but a few odd examples that I picked over time of the tenuous nature of my historical line. Every one of these moments could have gone another way, but then my line would have broken, and who can say what the world would look like without me in the present day. But the fact that I'm here is the happiest of happenstance, a little bit of luck and a whole lot of chance. 1 in a gazillion, maybe more, but goddamn, despite the long odds, here I am. Thank you. That was my Longshot Life.